What's up everybody? For this video, I just talk about a few things that came to mind after playing the DNF Duel second beta. DNF Duel is a fighting game based on characters from the well-known MMO Dungeon Fighter Online. I haven't had the chance to play the first beta, so this was my very first experience playing this game. Also, this beta had no practice mode. So with that being said, I lost. A lot, actually. But that's okay because I played through the tilt, learned from my mistakes, and had fun doing it. And I'm sure once the game releases and I get time to practice, it will get rid of most of my frustrations. The following section may seem like common knowledge for seasoned fighting game players. However, I'm a little fresh to the scene, you feel me? So that's why it's here. Each section is separated and titled with the use of the chapter feature if you wish to skip around. But what I'll get into right off the bat is 4 things I learned about the game. Number 1. Conversion is not a Roman cancel-like function. Throughout the gameplay, you'll hear me mentioning Roman cancels when referring to conversion, the ability that lets the user convert health into MP. While playing, I used conversion thinking it was this game's version of Roman cancel and unintentionally depleted my health bar on many occasions. Most times it wasn't very noticeable, but when you're very low on health it can be detrimental to the match. Number 2. Guarding low blocks almost everything. Something I noticed is that if you sit and guard low, you can negate almost every attack. I may be exaggerating a bit, but that's why I said almost everything, because, you know, it blocks almost everything. I feel that by the time your opponent jumps and performs their overhead attack, you'll be able to react to the telegraphed animation in time, so guarding lows is the way to go. Number 3. Be patient during enemy combo strings. Something I've been getting used to in fighting games in general is to stop impatiently attacking my opponent when getting comboed in the corner, and instead wait for the right moment to counter or escape. This behavior proved to be extremely depleting to both my sanity and my health bar, draining every hit point from my character it can find. Number 4. Faster but slower, but not too fast or slow. Feel me? Like pacing, I guess? I don't know. For this one, there are multiple aspects that come into play, such as familiarity with the character you're playing, familiarity with the character your opponent is playing, the ability to take this knowledge and apply it in-game, the ability to read your opponent and capitalize on it, and so on. Forgive me if this makes no sense whatsoever, but I learned that I need to be quicker with my decisions while taking my time to avoid rushing into unfavorable situations. Yeah? Okay, cool. An example of where this would be useful is during my match against Ranger. While Ranger spammed me with bullets, I sat back in a guarding position while I thought of a way to approach him safely. While doing this, I was also running out of time, taking chip damage to my health bar, and taking block damage to my guard, leading to a guard break. Another example can be found during my match versus Dragon Knight, where playing too slow allowed for her to set up combos and land free grabs on my stagnant character. The final thing I wanted to touch on are the characters. The first thing I want to talk about is my favorite characters and most played characters. Number 1, obviously, is Kunoichi. Number 2 is Ghostblade, and number 3 is Striker. I think these 3 characters are very appealing, both gameplay wise and aesthetically. If I had more time, I would probably play them even more. Some characters that I dislike, like actually do not like this character. I'm using dislike, but yeah. And I don't know how much more I dislike one character than the other, so these aren't in any order. Number 1, Ranger. My reasoning is because, literally, Ranger can spam me with bullets all game with little risk to him because he has a lot of good skills that can avoid enemy engages once someone manages to get on him. Number 2, Crusader. I dislike Crusader because Crusader is actually broken. Like, Crusader is one of the best characters in the game, but it's It's tilting to play against Crusader because it's like he literally owns the entire map. Puts a wall behind you. He swings overheads if you try to jump in on him. He even has a skill that knocks you back if you get too close. And if that wasn't enough, he has a beam of energy that takes up the entire screen. Like, yeah, Crusader's just broke. Number 3 is Grappler. I wouldn't say like Grappler's broken, but definitely annoying to play against, and I don't really like playing with Grappler. That's really the main reason that I put him on here, because I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. He reminds me of Ryu, like visually, and I don't know, just doesn't do it for me. Those type of characters I don't really like. Don't look cool to me. He also looks like Set, which is kind of funny. For the most OP characters in the DNF Duel second beta, I can genuinely say Ghostblade and Crusader top my list. I can't confidently put anyone else on the list because I just really didn't have that much time to play, even though I got a lot of games in my one day of playing DNF Duel, like not even a half, like 1 1/4 of playing DNF Duel. Yeah, most often they were the same characters, and that's what I'm going to touch on with the next topic. Characters that I just haven't seen a lot of, or look kind of cool and like maybe have some hidden potential there. I like to add Inquisitor. I feel like Inquisitor has a lot of very good skills, but I haven't matched with her or played as her very often, so I don't really know how good she actually is. Vanguard and Hitman. I didn't really see them in my games that often, a lot less than Inquisitor, and I really don't have much to go off of. I would say in comparison to Hitman, I feel like Vanguard seems a little more promising, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to see when the game comes out. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Berserker. Berserker seems pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say Berserker's OP, but Berserker's definitely not trash. Like, it's a good character, you know. I'd say a little above average. Berserker's cool. Now, I like to talk about the feature characters that could potentially come to DNF Duel. First, I like to start off with the one confirmed character, which is the female mechanic. The female mechanic is derived from the Gunner class and can be described as a master of robotic engineering and plays around her robotic creations, which I think could be pretty interesting in the game and opens up ideas for new type of gameplay that we haven't seen before. Being that the female mechanic is coming out, I think that the other characters that we can pretty much confirm are releasing include a female and male mage and a female slayer. Since these are the only classes that haven't had characters released for, I think that we can confirm that those are absolutely coming to the game. Now the real question is, which advancement are they going to choose to bring to the game? Starting off with the mages, I think that for the male mage, the obvious aesthetic choice well, maybe not obvious, but my obvious aesthetic choice would be the blood mage. The character design looks amazing, and I feel like the blood mage allows for very fun, very cool looking move design. My aesthetic choice for the female mage would be the enchantress or the battle mage. Both of these forms of this character look very cool. I feel like if they were going for more of a traditional mage look, the battle mage would be more up the alley, but my number one choice would be enchantress. I think that design is really cool. Now, for the gameplay choice, I think that Elemental Bomber for the male mage and Elementalist for the female mage would make the most sense. And the reason I say this is because with the elements being the theme of the character, it allows for a lot of creative freedom when designing skills, being that there are multiple elements, right? The only thing about this is that if they have one elemental themed mage, then is there really a need for another one? So I guess like we can have like an elemental bomber and then enchantress or elementalist and blood mage. I don't know, but yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about. For the female slayer, I think the aesthetic choice would be the Dark Templar. Listen, this design is literally amazing. Like, it looks so cool, and I want this character to come out. It's just awesome, right? It looks amazing. But as far as like the gameplay choice, I honestly think the Vagabond maybe could be cooler, or not cooler, but more fitting. I think that they could play a lot with the internal struggle theme thingy that they got going on with Vagabond. So Vagabond is like a magic swordsman that practices, I think it's called Qigong, but she also is suppressing this demon power within her, which is like, I feel like that's really cool, and they can play off of that as well. A lot of my gameplay picks are, centered around the idea of what abilities they can use in the game. Two other classes that I believe are pretty much confirmed to release include the Dark Knight and the Creator. Aside from the female slayer and the mage class, these two classes are the only ones without characters in DNF Duel. So I think that they can be pretty much confirmed to come out. Although Dark Knight is technically a slayer, he has a more offensive moveset, and I believe that the developers can bring him to the game in a way that isn't too similar to like Ghostblade or Berserker. But yeah, it looks pretty cool, even though he's another blonde slayer. Lastly, I want to talk about the copycat characters. Considering the fact that we have two male slayers, seemingly because they contrast enough to qualify it, I think that we can fit in some more copycats, meaning characters of the same class. The first one I think will be a cool option is the Mistress. The Mistress is a badass priestess with a big ass scythe that seduces sinners, and she looks amazing. And I could just see her having some type of charm move, like off the bat. Like I already know that's got to be a thing, right? But she just seems like she needs to be in the game. Like she is that character that everyone simps over. Yes, she's that one. Not me though. And I think she'd be a good fit because she is completely different than Inquisitor looks wise. Just like how Berserker and Ghostblade don't look pretty much anything alike. And for that same reason, I think Necromancer would be amazing for this game. Now, Necromancer belongs to the Thief class like Kunoichi, but completely different, these two characters. I'd imagine Necromancer having a magey kind of moveset. It doesn't feel like you're playing a mage when you play Kunoichi anyway. But yeah, Necromancer looks nothing like Kunoichi, and necromancy is a wonderful a wonderful thing. No, but necromancy seems like a wonderful thing like to have as a base for your character. Like, it's just, once again, a lot of creative freedom when coming into skill development and stuff like that. So yeah, all these characters, I think this game has a lot of potential, and I've had fun playing this game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it, honestly. So yeah, that's it for the video. Pretty much just like the video says, my thoughts, just stuff I wanted to talk about, thought was cool. Yeah, that's it. Oh, for fun, I counted my wins and losses for every match I played during this beta and calculated my win rate percentage. Okay, so out of 65 total games, drum roll please, I had a total of 22 wins and 43 losses, giving me a 34% win rate, okay? I know it's not the best, but hey, I had a lot of fun, even through the tilting moments, you know? So, yeah, I'm okay with that. We're gonna get it up there when the game actually releases, so. Let me know how your experience with this game went, and if you're looking forward to its release on June 28th, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see my Kunoichi gameplay, or watch me play some other characters, go ahead and click a video on the screen. Thanks for watching.